He can't wait to get on TV to show his stupid face. He's now the expert on this.
Of course.
Wants everyone to forget that he actually did all these type of things.
Yeah, he was a shock jock.
And it wasn't working anymore. His ratings were dropping. He tried to change his show, and his ratings dropped even further.
This is the guy that wears his sunglasses all the time.
Well, no, now he's not wearing sunglasses.
No.
He's trying to look more and more like Sean Hannity every day. And it's not going to happen.
And Cal Muller. You're not surprised. You're not surprised about this, are you? I mean, this shock jock stunts just get more bizarre and more bizarre, and this is just bound to happen, right?
Well, Bill, this type of radio is dead, and there's a reason it's dying. We're living in important times, and this kind of voyeuristic radio really has died. Most of the really bad stuff has gone to satellite. Some of it still lingers, but it's a dying art form, if it is that.
Oh, my God. It's dying because we're living in important times?
Huh? What?
What are you talking about?
He's trying to be serious. Yeah. With his radio voice.
But it's not even that. It's not that shocking. She drank
really
water.
Isn't.
Woo! If she drank horse pee, I'd be like, wow, that's shocking. She drank water.
Yeah.
I mean, what is so?
This isn't a shock.
She accidentally died because
he blows off the fact that this really isn't shocking, and probably a bunch of morning shows across America have done a contest very similar to this, thinking they're doing some kind of innocent but a little crazy, a little a little, oh my God, she's holding it. She needs to take a leak type radio. No one expected that they were taking any chances in that room that day.
You guys had a diabetic drink eggnog, which is basically milk sugar.
Okay.
Milk sugar.
Yeah.
This isn't a stunt. It's not. It's a contest.
Right.
The radio station contests have been going on for years, and they will continue to go on for years. It's a contest.
It's wacky radio contests, like sit on a block of ice. Last person up gets a pair of tickets to see Justin Timberlake. Yeah. That type of crap.
Drinking water is not shocking.
No, these guys didn't think they were gonna get anywhere near someone dying.
Shutting down traffic on a bridge with a cow.
Yeah.
That's a shock jock stunt.
Right. Throwing a dead hooker off of a building.
Jerk off.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that too.
By the way,
shocking.
I think they dumped out down the hall. Bob Kelly said it would be shocking if she was drinking something else besides water, and then he mentioned something to do with will that mess it up?
I don't think so. Something to do with a horse.
All right, there you go. All right, it continued last night.
It seems to be in the smaller markets like Sacramento, every market has them. You turn on the morning radio, it's usually in the morning, and they have, even here in New York, Opie and Anthony are back on.
And that disgusts.
Oh, he doesn't want to hear that.
In fact, we're back on radio.
Oh, does he hate it?
Mancow?
Mancow.
No, Bill O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly hates you too.
Oh, my God, he does, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because he's so morally...
He can't believe we're back on the radio. He thinks we shouldn't work ever again.
He's so high above us morally that we just discussed him. Yeah.
We may be pretty effed up on the air, but at least we're not effed up in our private lives like Mr. O'Reilly.
Ooh. I wonder how much that settlement was.
Yeah, I wonder how much that settlement
was that you paid that woman.
Pretty amazing that you made that go away.
So she wouldn't expose that audio tape. So you wouldn't look like, what's his name, like Pat.
The allegations of phone sex and things in the shower. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all forgot about
the loofah.
That, right, Mr. O'Reilly?
Phone sex loofah thing. All of a sudden it went away because you doled her out a bunch of cash. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means you settled. You're the moral compass? What a tool.
You're back on. These are the guys that did the thing in St. Patrick's Cathedral. But what I'm trying to say is there doesn't seem to be any regulation, Mancow. These guys, if they can pull in the numbers, they can do whatever they want to do.
Look, we don't... Which, by the way... is not true anymore.
No.
That whole thing did change after our Sex for Sam stunt.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Bill O'Reilly. So why don't you update your research? It is really tough to do a radio show in this day and age as far as the edgy stuff goes, the shock jock type of things go.
Yeah.
You're talking about maybe how radio was done 4 or 5 years ago at this point. You dummy.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that anymore. They'll fire your ass in a second.
Do your research. It's really tough.
No matter what your ratings are.
They can do whatever they want to do.
Look, we don't need more government regulation. That's not what I'm saying.
No, how about station management regulation?
Well, and
that's in place. Trust me, it's in place.
Oh, my God.
Trust me, it's in place.
Believe me. Got to pull teeth around here to do anything.
Well, I just said something about a horse, and you can't even say that.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
they probably dumped out of that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
His info is outdated.
Station management regulation.
Well, and you see what kind of management we have in radio, where Opie and Anthony, who, by the way, as you know, they just lost 40% of their audience. In Chicago, they're in last place. So the truth...
So he has to take a shot at us because he is so frustrated. He is so frustrated. Here's his time in the spotlight, and Bill O'Reilly has to mention us.
How about you lost 100% of your audience?
Wow.
He did.
You're really quick with math, aren't you?
John, yeah, that math is easy. When you have no listeners in Chicago, I know that's 100% of your audience.
Look, man, this show is still growing, and we just started in Chicago. It's way too early.
So you didn't lose anybody?
We've lost. We're pretty honest in the show. We've lost a bit of our audience in New York in the last ratings book. Yes,
it happens. People
but the show is still growing.
Fall in love with a new show that comes into town. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh, I like the music this station plays, and people tune in. They gotta accept the personalities, listen for a little while. It just happens. Talk radio takes a while to catch on.
It's still early in the game. Market. We just got major support from our big bosses yesterday. Yeah. We're still doing it. Mancow's not doing it in the big markets anymore. He's doing it in these tiny little cities that you never heard of or you could barely pronounce.
By the way,
he got kicked out of his hometown of Chicago.
I love how Bill O'Reilly said, you see it all the time in these small markets like Sacramento. Meanwhile, Mancow was drooling like, I wish I'd have Sacramento. Holy Jesus. Right. You just called it a small market. I'm dreaming of a Sacramento at this point in my career. Guy's in nowhere.
But he has to take a shot at us. And he knows. He's been in radio long enough to know that we haven't been on in Chicago long enough for anyone to make a real opinion about the show.
You guys
and where it's going, if it's going to be successful or not.
You've been on there for months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not years, months.
Wow. And we, trust me, it's nothing to brag about, but we've moved the needle like this. Just like a little.
Yeah, a little.
Nothing to brag about. I'm not sitting here going, we're on our way in Chicago, but, we're holding steady.
I have a lot of things not to brag about, so
we're holding steady. But he knows it's way too early to start bragging about how we're in last place in Chicago.
I've lost 40% of our audience.
Whoa. Well, you lost 100% of your audience in Chicago.
All of them. They threw you out.
Never got to broadcast in New York City. And when you're in radio... Sorry for the rest of the cities here, but the fact is, if you're in radio, you want to be heard in New York City. And he tried for many, 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 many years to be heard in New York City. His parent company gave him a shot like one day because someone was on vacation, and they went, nah.
What happened to his?
Never going to happen.
What happened to his Fox News show?
One and done.
One episode. It was so bad.
One and done.
They didn't even consider giving him another shot. Yeek.
So keep
New York is number one. Is New York what's the number one market?
If you're in radio, your dream is to just do it in New York. Simple as that.
And most people just before syndication, it was like you're big in New York, that's a big gig.
And I remind people, if we suck so bad, when we got fired for our Sexual Sam thing, guess who was calling our staff behind the scenes to try to hire all of them? Because we were a very successful show when we got fired, and he figured, wow, maybe I can hire his staff away.
Yeah.
Who was the guy calling our agent, because we had the same agent at the same time, before we got fired, trying to get Anthony and I to fly to Chicago. He was gonna treat us on the town with limos and steak dinners and strip clubs and all this. He wanted to get in our good graces because we were powerful in the company at the time, and we would then go back here to New York and talk about the bosses like, oh, you gotta hire this guy, man. We're up there in Chicago, and we think he could be great on the same station we're on. And we said no.
Leave.
He forgets all that now as he takes his shots at us.